Hi everyone. Please excuse the background noise as I'm recording outside my house today. So I want you to first make sure that you have a list of these words in your notebook, and you keep referring to the ebooks that I have shared in the WhatsApp group, and find out the meanings of these keywords and have them all in one place, so that when you're doing your practice questions you should be mindful about the meanings of these terms and use them in your answers. So in this video we are going to actually recall the module 17 introduction video on cell theory. So I had asked you to watch a video in module 17 and guess which unit we are going to start. So by now, after listening to the introduction of module 18, you must be knowing we are going to start the first unit, that is cell and microscopy. So in the last module's video, we learnt about what cell theory is. So basically it is a series of historical discoveries, starting from Robert Hooke's observation of cells in a cork, and Anton Leeuwenhoek's passion for building different types of lenses, from which we got to know about how cells exist. So this is a slide showing major timelines when different biologists and lens makers contributed towards building the simplest microscope and studying about cells. So basically the cell theory has three parts. That is, the first part saying that all living things are made up of cells. Secondly, the basic unit of structure of and function of every living things are cells. This was found out in plant cells by Sleeden and in animal cells by Schwann. Then another biologist called Virchow discovered that cells can only be produced from pre-existing cells after studying them under very powerful lenses and microscope. With years of their theories and understanding, and more biologists getting interested into understanding the cells, we finally came across a proposed modern cell theory which contains these four statements. So you can see an element of inheritance and gene and DNA added to this theory. That is the first point. Cell contains heredity information, DNA, which is passed from one cell to another by cell division. This was added to the cell theory after the scientific community gained more perspective or idea about life originating and informations passing from parents to offspring, and not just life does not originate just spontaneously like how people believed in olden times. It also states that all cells are basically having the same chemical composition and performing the same metabolic activities. So if you remember, metabolic activity means all the basic activities starting from respiration, digestion, excretion, reproduction. All of these activities are shown by all the cells in our body, and there are few exceptions. Then all basic chemical and physiological functions are carried out inside the cells, and the whole cell's activity actually depends upon subcellular structures. Subcellular structures basically over here means all the organelles like nucleus, the lysosomes, the plasma membrane, different parts of the cells work together for the cell to complete its function. Now, why is it that we are emphasizing so much on the cell theory? From the exam or syllabus point of view, this will not be something that you will be asked in exam, but you should know the purpose behind why this unit and the theory behind discovery of cell is important, because with the understanding of the cell theory, every aspect of biology became more and more clear, starting from how have we developed from a single cell called zygote to understanding what happens when cells divide uncontrollably, that is in case of cancer, and also understanding many other diseases and finding ways to prevent them or manage them. For all of these purposes, the cell theory was the foundation. So therefore, this whole struggle of from a place where science and microscopy was completely non-existent to where we are now. The major contributions of Robert Hooke, Anton von Leeuwenhoek, Matthias Sleeden and Swan have played a very very important role, and because of them we contribute to whatever we know today about microbiology and cell biology. So that was the main message of this video. After the video, please move on to reading about more insights on why we should study about cells and answer a few questions.